I'm Davina McCall. I just want to say Happy New Year! It is one of those times, isn't it, where you feel like it's a fresh start. You've got your Etch-a-Sketch, you've shaken it, and you've got a completely fresh screen to mess up throughout the year. But we start the year always, I think, with really good intentions, like we want to, I don't know, look after ourselves a bit. And I personally feel that when I hit midlife, I stopped wanting to do exercise necessarily for a beach-ready body or anything like that. I just want to live longer, and I feel like the energy that I get from working out or exercising or just moving keeps me feeling younger. And one of the really important parts of that in midlife, I think, is staying mobile, because as we get older, our joints and everything tend to stiffen up a little bit, and it's very easy to forget to stretch or forget to keep them kind of able to carry us in the way that we need them to. In particular, wrists. I mean, wrists are so important. We must look after our wrists and make sure that we can still use our wrists and our hands to push our bodies up, to maintain our body weight, because they get very weak very quickly. And also exercise in midlife, and I know about this from going through perimenopause and menopause, is very important for bone density. Osteoporosis, we're more at risk from that as we get older, and weight-bearing exercise, anything where you are using your weight. So things like cycling and swimming don't really count as weight-bearing exercise, but anything else is, even walking, which is great, is good for your bones. And I know that exercise is amazing for my mental health. And I think starting the day with something gentle, this is going to be a little workout for any ability. It is really, really good for our mindset, and it's a great way to start the day. Now, mobilizing, I'm going to start mobilizing now, and you can copy me. So I'm just rolling my wrists, and I can sometimes hear in the mornings like a little crick. Don't worry about that. It's just your body waking up, and then go the other way. And then do your shoulders a little bit, nice big circles. While I'm doing this, I always think, pretend you're doing up a belt around your waist and just kind of suck in your tummy a little bit to keep you standing nice and upright. It always helps with your posture. And then roll your shoulders the other way. And then I do little side bends, so I widen my feet a little bit, slightly wider than shoulder width apart. And it's not stretching as far as you can. This isn't an exercise, it's just mobilizing. You can go from one side to the other. And then keep your hips facing forward. You want to turn your shoulders a little bit. You can really feel this across your waist. And then you can stretch your arms out to elongate it a little bit and turn your head slightly the other way. When you come back to the middle, do a little pause, And then we're gonna do a little hip roll, like that. This really makes my hips click. But this also is an area, our hips are an area that just seize up so easily. And then I want you to move down to your ankles. Oh, love it. And you can do as many of these or as little of these as you want, but it's just a nice way to get mobilized before you start your flow. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stand sideways on, just so you can see how I'm moving, but I've got my feet shoulder width apart again. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in, and I'm going to breathe out through my nose, both ways. If you want to, if that doesn't feel comfortable breathing out through your nose, you can breathe out through your mouth, but I like through my nose. So breathe in through your nose, all the way up to the top. Oh, I've caught the light, that's hilarious. All the way up to the top, I'll move back a bit. All the way up to the top, bring your hands down, breathe out, in, and out. One more time. Then travel down towards the floor. Keep your back nice and straight. Bend your knees slightly. Touch the floor if you can, or go as far as you can and look up. Slight bend. Go back down again. Touch the floor, put your hands down, and you can either step out or jump out. So if you're experienced, you can jump out into a plank. If you don't feel comfortable in the plank, put your feet down and flatten them on the floor like that, absolutely fine. You can probably notice that I'm not totally square, I'm not in all fours, I'm slightly out because this is supposed to be like a plank. And you can build up to a plank. I couldn't do a plank on my wrists. My wrists were that weak that I couldn't do one. So this is an amazing way of building up your wrist strength. So, in a plank, I just want you to stay there for a few breaths, or with your knees down. And then we can go cat-cow. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then come back into child pose and keep your hands where they were. And you can really feel a nice stretch under your arms, through your lats, across your back. And sit there for a moment and enjoy it. Then we move forward, back onto your wrists again. If you can plank. And then up into a downward dog. Try and push your head through your arms. And then I like to do a little calf stretch while I'm here. A little bit more mobilizing, knees, ankles. Then back into plank or bent knee. You can, if you're down on your knees, you can step forward like that, or you can jump forward if you're in your plank, and then keep your knees bent, keep your head down, lift your bum first, and then very, very, very slowly, so you don't get a head rush, come up. And that could be just your morning flow, or you could start the whole thing again and do another set. You know, I mean, Roisin teaches me on my fitness platform, it's called Own Your Goals, and I take a little bit of all the trainers that work on there, and I use that in my morning routine, just to kind of take a little bit here, take a little bit there. But they're amazing instructors on there, and if you want to try more yoga, you can go on there and have a look. It's just about doing what you feel comfortable with and building up on where you're at that time. So I know that I was ashamed when I couldn't put my weight on my arms on my hands anymore, and it's such a feeling of achievement when you think, oh my goodness, I'm actually doing a plank, oh my goodness. And then I couldn't lower myself down while I was in a plank without kind of collapsing onto the floor. And I spent a couple of months doing that, and once you do it every day, you'll be amazed at how quickly that happens. I hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, Happy New Year.